Coming up on RPM tonight, racing, trucks in the heat, Formula One in the rain, plus Saturday night's 500-lap headache.
You can blame it on the racetrack, but it really ain't the racetrack.
We'll round up what's left from the wreckage in Bristol and head out to the Glen, where Ron Hornaday was trying to keep his truck on the track long enough for another W. The Formula One win would go to the team that chose the right tires, and whoever was in first. 6 points of separation between Alex Zanardi and a PPG Cup title. Me, I've been given a new ride, but it's RPM one more time. Welcome and all that. We will recap the evening of destruction from Saturday's Cup race and do some F1 from Belgium. But the last race run goes first. The trucks ran the road course route at Watkins Glen, which was the course of choice for a couple Trans Am Series regulars like Ron Fellows and Dorsey Schrader. They lined up 1-2 at the start. They know a thing or two about taking 11 turns, and better still, Tommy Kendall wasn't in the race. And here we go to the race, and away they go. Lap 1 is 62 on board with Mike Bliss, looking back at Jack Sprague, who could eat no fat trouble. For Kenny Irwin, pitting on lap 1. He was racing behind the rest of the pack. He'd have to try to race again. No luck, out with a broken right caliper, whatever that is. Jack Sprague closing on Dorsey Schrader for the lead, and he got it. Now you're on board with Ron Hornaday. A little trouble as he drifts off the track across the Little League baseball field. He recovers. Pole sitter Ron Fellows trying to pass Mike Bliss on the inside. Bliss will have nothing to do with that. Shuts him down. Sprague now at first. Joe Ruttman's racing second. Ron Hornaday back in sixth with Rich Bickle right on him. Hornaday ended up in fifth. With Sprague in first, Ruttman in second. Fellows goes after Bliss for third. Makes the long pass down along the inside. Makes the move. You're on board with Mike Bliss right about now. Fellows kicking up some dirt. Can't see so well. It covers Bliss's windshield momentarily. Lap 56. Fellows, the big move. He's after Sprague, and he got him for the lead. But would he have enough gas to last? Moments later, Bliss follows the lead and passes Sprague for second. Tony Roper's car. Cheech and Chong involved in this thing. Smoke and flames. Everybody okay? He got out of that mess fine. The checkered flag is coming. It's coming real soon. It's coming for this guy. Fellows, comfortable lead. He beats Bliss by 1.4 seconds. And he sets a record race of 97.790. Fellows' gas ran out on the cool-down lap, so he had enough. He celebrated. He won. 8 different winners on the circuit this year. That is a truck's record. Ron Fellows with his first Truck Series win, 42 grand for him. Mike Bliss gave chase to be second. Jack Sprague, the points leader, ran third. Joe Ruttman next, then Hornaday, bruised ribs and all. Jimmy Hensley ran sixth, and on down we go to 10th place Rick Corelli in a Chevy, the brand of choice for 6 of the top 10, including the winner, who spoke with Marlo Claims.
He set the pole record here this morning, and now he's the upset winner here in Watkins Glen. Ron, did you ever think that you would win up here?
Well, I was pretty sure we had a good truck. Billy Hess, after Topeka, we knew we needed to change in the truck to make it better, and it was better. I mean, we were good right off the truck. And I got to thank Chevrolet for helping me steer me towards this NASCAR Truck Series. This is what I want to do, and I was most concerned because fuel mileage was going to play a part. We had to pit the first half, and we figured out that if I could conserve somehow in the second half, all we needed was 2 more laps. And we had a couple of cautions that helped, and I ran out halfway through the cool lap. So I was able to do a little drafting, and that helped. But the truck was awesome. The brakes, big part here. I couldn't be happier. I'm in shock, actually.
You guys changed the braking system this morning to be more like your Trans Am car. What did you do?
Actually, we just put fresh brakes on. Alcon's been very helpful. Braking is very, very critical with a very heavy race car, and we've worked hard to try and make it stop like a Trans Am car, yeah. So far, so good.
All right, congratulations. In just his 3rd truck race, finds victory lane.
Marlo, thank you. This was one of those once in a whiles when a non-Truck Series regular got home first. Fellows joined Mark Martin, Terry Labonte, and Ken Schrader in the Outsiders foursome of winners. Now to more truck talk, starting with Joe Ruttman, who wondered how'd that Canadian Fellows win the race.
I want to check his green card because I'm not sure he's legally, over in this country, and so if he shows that to me, I'll let him run one more time. But I don't know if it's fair to come from where he's from somewhere else. I'm not sure where it is, but and I don't go both ways that good. He goes both ways really good.
I didn't conserve all day. We figured we'd go all the way. I was slipping a little bit. I got caught in traffic. It screwed me up. And Ron was better in some places. I was better in others.
The H guys gave us a really special motor for this race. I mean, it was fast, and, you know, both practice sessions we were really fast. And I mean, it was our race to win this week, and unfortunately we had 2 component failures break, and we lost 2 engines. So, I mean, the H guys did a good job. They worked really hard changing them, and, you know, the one we had for the race just wasn't quite as good as the first one.
Big picture, we gained points on everybody, so we'll go to Richmond.
Truck points right here, 19 of 26 events complete. Jack Sprague has opened up by 85 points on Rich Bickle. Ron Hornaday still there in 3rd, Joe Ruttman's 4th, and Mike Bliss is 5th. No change except in the points in the top 5. The order stays the same. Our F1 pal Derek Bell said of the Grand Prix of Belgium, it was one of the greatest races run in Belgium this weekend. Either I missed the other action or missed the emphasis in his remark, whatever the case. There were some big moves, and one guy was making all of them, and he's Michael Schumacher. Here we go to the race. It was a rainy day. Ralph Schumacher went for a jog. He's a fitness nut. Big brother Michael just hanging out, waiting for the rain to stop, and the pole sitter Jacques Villeneuve wants to race. Wants to try to catch up with Michael to the series lead. The police were after the cars, and away they go. Cars running through some mist and some rain, can't see a dang thing, except Michael Schumacher, he could, and he could see that he was going to start closing in on people. If Derek Bell were here, he would analyze this. Michael making the move on John Alesi in the intermediaries, those are tires. Schumacher then beats Alesi around the corner, gets the 2nd spot. A lot of water flying up, and now he's after Jacques Villeneuve, and he got him underneath. Passes for the lead, and he wouldn't look back. Jacques had to head to the pits, try to get some new tires, but a little too late because Schumacher was pulling away midway through the race. The bad news for Ralph Schumacher, spinning out. He's in a backup car and not only wrecked the first car, but smashed this thing into the wall and then spins around in circles. You'd be thrown off any good go-kart track for such behavior. They would push Ralph's piece of junk off the track. It took a whole team of people, get him out of this thing, and then takes a van ride and enters some other kind of series. Meanwhile, Villeneuve spending the rest of the day trying to play catch-up. Gets up to 5th at one point in the race. There's Schumacher's crew, pretty relaxed, the new bane kicking in. Schumacher would stretch the lead to a minute at some points in the race, just running around this course. An easy winner, and at the finish, Michael Schumacher once again winning a car race in Belgium. He's the man, he's the winner. 4th win on this course for Michael Schumacher, and he gets a helmet for winning. 26th career win for him, which puts him 5th all-time. He's one back of Tartan trouser wearer Jackie Stewart. Giancarlo Fisichella with his 2nd ever podium finish. Mika Hakkinen got up for 3rd, but an inquiry has been lodged. He may be not 3rd because he may have made an illegal pass. A ruling is pending. Now let's look at the Drivers' Championship standings right here. 12 of 17 events are history, and it's Michael Schumacher pulling away a bit from Jacques Villeneuve. John Alesi and Heinz-Harald Frentzen, they're far back in the tie for 3rd. Gerhard Berger missed some races this season, but he stands in 5th. That car wreck known as the Goodies Headache Powder 500 left Mark Martin on the points lead and led many vehicles to the shop. Yeah, it did. I got a little mixed up. You thought I was mixed up with my cat quick reflexes. I'm right back on it. We're joined by the booming ESPN radio voice of Tony Bruno now for more on what went down Saturday night, which was a lot of cars going out.
I think the luckiest man's going to win the championship.
Luck. Some drivers have it.
Boy, he's dodged several bullets tonight, hasn't he?
Well, he has, hasn't he?
And some drivers don't.
Oh, Jeff Gordon slides up the hill and loses the lead, and there he spins. And hits the inside wall hard.
It's pretty hard to wreck at this place and not hurt it bad. And, you know, I tried to keep it out of the inside wall. I knew it was going to be pretty tough to do that. Typical Bristol, it's just the way it goes with lap cars there.
With 3 wins in his last 5 starts at Thunder Valley, Jeff Gordon's string of good runs at Bristol ended abruptly on lap 245. As luck would have it, Gordon's luck would run out, putting a whole new spin on the points race.
It was unfortunate for Jeff Gordon. He didn't do anything wrong there. He just got run over by cars that were trying to make their laps up.
Mark's running hard for it. We're running hard for it. And he hadn't had a whole lot of bad luck. He finally had a little bit.
Well, we made a real big move in the points. You know, hate that deal happened to Jeff and them guys back there, but hey, that's racing.
If Gordon was unlucky, Mark Martin was definitely lucky. No fewer than 4 times during the race, Martin watched one wreck after another unfold before his eyes. And each time, he somehow managed to escape danger, escaping with a 2nd place run and the points lead heading to Darlington.
We spent several Sundays in the garage already this year, and that's how we got so far behind. So we just got to keep hoping that luck's on our side.
Lady Luck also shined on Dale Jarrett, who picked up his first win in 83 short track starts. Twice during the race, Jarrett avoided trouble first with Jeff Bodine and then with Bobby Hamilton. In the end, Jarrett picked up his 4th win of the season, but more importantly, he picked up valuable points in the title chase.
We made up some ground. We've got some more to make up, and we're just going to have to race to try to win and see if we can put this Ford Quality Care, Ford Credit, Thunderbird in victory lane a couple more times.
We had bad luck a couple weeks ago at Watkins Glen. You know, it's that's the way this racing stuff is. You know, you got to have a lot of luck.
By the way, Tony Bruno fought for that assignment. Cup points go this way after 22 of 32 events. Mark Martin on the lead for the first time since 1990. Check the average finish column to the right there, and you see why. He's got the best mark, 8.4. Jeff Gordon is 13 points out of first and 1 placing back of Martin on average. Dale Jarrett stands third. His winning ways explain why he's ahead of the next guy, Terry Labonte, who has a better average finish, but no wins. We'll get into Alex Zanardi's Kart Series title chances a bit later in the show. Chances are he's going to be the champ, and there's still more of RPM tonight coming around. A boatload of miscellaneous racing. The ASA racers ran the Milwaukee Mile. We'll roll their pictures real soon. The Featherlight drivers ran into each other, but somebody won, and one guy went across the Little League infield apparently. And the always popular World of Outlaws will be pictured there and will be seen in their entirety. Coming soon, RPM. Back and as indicated with ASA Racing, Milwaukee Mile, the Track Auto 200, and they're racing. Battle between Steve Carlson and Scott Hansen, door to door, side by side. They swap the lead. Hansen gets the lead there. Now Junior Hanley, a bit high. He's pretty much paying admission if he gets any higher. He's slamming into the wall, and the caution's coming out. The restart now. Dave Sensitive is leading. Bob Seneker's going after him high and into the lead, and you're not going to stop Bob Seneker. He goes on to win. 83rd career ASA win. Gary St. Amant was second. Let's look at the points. Kevin Sawinski is your man through 14 of 20 races. A 201-point lead on Gary St. Amant. Top 5 stayed the same as last week. Next race, St. Paul, Minnesota, September 1st. World of Outlaws. Friday night, Travis Cram doing some wheel stands and B feature, and that's always fun. The A feature, Sammy Swindell thinks he's won it, but Jeff Swindell has stopped, and they're going to go again, green and white, and they're racing, and once again, Swindell wins, so it's kind of a do-over for no reason. Saturday, fireworks. Late 4th of July celebration. We're free from the British except for Derek Bell. Steve Kinzer going after it on the outside of Sammy Swindell. He's into the lead. Jeff Swindell once again crashing, flipping. The yellow's out. Kind of similar to what we showed you earlier on the restart. Sammy Swindell to the inside of Steve Kinzer. And once again, it's Swindell doing a wheel stand even to just kind of rub it in. He's your man. He's your winner. He gets all sorts of flags. And let's look at the points. World of Outlaws. These point totals look like the Dow Jones average because the outlaw volume is quite high. Sammy Swindell, your leader by just 26 points, and that's a small amount considering he has about 8 million points. Here we go. Featherlight. Yep. Ted Christopher, 7th in the truck race, out on lap 1 and relaxing and then falls. He'll be okay though. Lap 14, and Tim Connolly in the lead until he gets into the grass, and once he gets into the grass, he goes quite slow, and then off the bumpers and back to the grass and back on the course. Lap 19, Frank Boardman's car suddenly turning. Apparently the steering wheel fell off, and he's slamming into the wall. The wall had to be repaired, the car probably too, and the driver's okay. The race delayed some 20 minutes. 5 laps to go. Mike Stefanik is on the inside of Rick Fuller. He's flying through, grabbing the lead on the inner loop. 1 lap to go now, and Burt Miller's in a crash. Can't end under caution, and I can't say that sentence. Anyway, can't end under caution. Stefanik holding off Fuller. He's the man. He is the winner. 17 of 23 events complete, and it's Stefanik on the lead by a truckload. Rick Fuller, 133 back in second, and Tim Connolly, he is up for 3rd place. We got more truck racing news straight ahead on RPM. We'll return to the Glen for a story about guys who want to go in circles. Big camera move. RPM tonight's on every night, Monday through Saturday at 7 Eastern. 2 shows every Sunday. Watch every show, please. Trans Am road course know-it-all Ron Fellows won the truck race at Watkins Glen Sunday, and he thinks that's all well and good, but he's also out to run against stereotyping. Road course folk want to turn circles at times, and that's what Marlo Klain is talking about.
Road racing specialists Ron Fellows and Dorsey Schrader made up the front row at the Parts America 150. Both are Trans Am veterans running a part-time truck schedule this season, focusing on the road courses. Fellows won from the pole in just his third start this year.
I think what helped was the showroom stock racing I used to do in Canada years ago. They're a lot more like a NASCAR. You know, brakes are a factor, tire conservation, they're very heavy. That's probably what did it for me.
I feel real honored to run second behind Fellows. He's been here, he's got more laps here than I have at IRP probably. He showed me some ways around here, and he's a real road racer. I'm learning a lot from these guys.
Schrader also used his experience to run in the top 5 for most of the day. His race came to a premature end when he suffered a dropped valve.
Certainly we run good here, and we run more laps here than those guys, but you know what, those top 4 or 5 trucks are really good. All those guys are real good getting around the road course. We might out-qualified them, but it was going to be a race. Unfortunately, we drove.
Borstead made the jump from the Trans Ams to the trucks at the beginning of the season. After starting 32nd with a provisional, he moved to 4th by lap 24. Contact with Rich Bickle and a fuel intake problem resigned Stead to an 11th place finish.
I know this track like the back of my hand, and it's one of the few races this year that I thought I could really win. I mean, I keep going to these ovals, and they're new, and you know, I'm eating humble pie all week and learning from all these veterans.
While Fellows and Schrader have had success in their limited truck experience, both are hoping to prove that they can succeed on the ovals as well. Fellows' win on Sunday could help him in his quest for a full-time truck ride.
I'd like to do a full truck deal next year, and I think this can't hurt anyway. We're going to wait and see.
5 first-time Truck Series winners this season. Fellows is the latest. Sauter, Raines, Bickle, and Irwin got home first for the first time before him. But the repeaters have been prominent lately. Sauter was the last first-timer, and that was way back May 31st. The Kart Series season is nearly a wrap, as is the title fight, it appears. We'll run down Alex Zanardi's championship chances coming up real soon. But first, the question, the Best Buy question. What was the last kart team to win consecutive PPG Cup titles with 2 different drivers? You got 8 seconds to figure it out. Plus the commercial. Stay around. Hey, we had a Best Buy question, and it was, what was the last kart team to win consecutive PPG Cup titles with 2 different drivers? Penske Racing back in 1982 and 83. Rick Mears and Al Unser Sr. rather. Those guys did the winning. Jimmy Vasser, he went for most improved driver in 1995, as you detail the question. He went for most improved driver in 1995, the Kart Series champ in 1996, and now his teammate Alex Zanardi is in line for a similar graduation. The Rookie of the Year last season is closing in on a clinch of the title for 1997.
The checkered flag waves over Alex Zanardi, looking more and more like a champion in 1997.
Alex Zanardi's rise to the top is one of the season's incredible comebacks. 11th place finish in the rain-soaked G.I. Joe's 200 in June left Zanardi sitting 5th in points, 31 back of the leader Paul Tracy. The next race on an airport runway in Cleveland was where Zanardi began to lift off. He was black flagged twice, but rallied from 22nd to take the checkered flag. Even after that win, Zanardi was still 5th in points, but now just 16 back.
I wasn't thinking of winning. I wasn't thinking of any particular result. I just convinced myself that the only thing I could do then was to get the best out of my car lap by lap, and then when the checkered flag would have dropped, I would have checked my result.
Zanardi's results in the next 4 races have been amazing. 2nd place in Toronto, followed by wins in Michigan, Mid-Ohio, and Elkhart Lake. In that span, he took the points lead for the first time, and it's been increasing. A combination of Zanardi's great work and some slowpoke runs by those giving chase.
And the number 2 man in the championship, Paul Tracy, appears to be out of the race. Moore is on that wet part down in Canada corner. Ooh, Ray Hall counterattacks. Moore's off. And smoke from the back of the race leader's car. Michael Andretti, a plume of smoke.
With 3 races left in the season, Tracy, Moore, Andretti, and Gilles de Ferrin each have a mathematical chance of winning the title. But the reality is, if Zanardi scores 6 more points than his closest competitor at the next race in Vancouver, he will win the PPG Cup title.
You have to remember that when a driver does get on a roll, sometimes it's easier to keep that going. Guys that have won championships in any series, they'll tell you part of the reason is that the luck goes your way, and things are just all right now going Zanardi's way.
If history is any indication, Zanardi can claim the championship now. Of the final 3 races, 2 are on road courses. In 8 road course races this year, Zanardi has 4 wins and 6 top 5. 7 of his 8 kart career wins have come on road courses. Zanardi sits 38 points ahead of DeFerrin in the overall standings, the widest margin since August of 1994. Last season, Zanardi picked up 59 points and teammates from the eventual champ Jimmy Vasser in the last 8 races. While he finished 22 points shy of Vasser, his dramatic pass on Brian Hurden, the final lap of the 1996 season, moved him into a tie for second place in the final standings.
There's been a lot of late season charges. He was doing it last year himself, but he had so much of a deficit to make up that he couldn't pull it off. But now, Alex Zanardi is in the driver's seat, so we'll find out how does he perform when people are chasing him as opposed to the other way around.
Hey, if you watched RPM today, you may have been led to believe David Letterman would be here. I'm an optimist, but that guy ain't showing.
Hey, Kenny, it's your last show. Hey, now listen, don't forget when you go to Sports Center, there's still racing going on. You don't have to just cover ball and stick, you know what I mean? There's tires, there's engines, there's all kind of things going here. Don't forget about it, all right?
Oh, man, you get a big-time job. You just leave the little guys behind. What is the deal, man? I tell you, I hope they're paying you well. We're going to miss you, man, and congratulations. You know, you did a great job on RPM tonight, and it's going to be hard to replace you, so good luck to you.
Well, thank you. As to the rest of you, it may be you couldn't care less that I'm leaving RPM with this show, but it is an FCC requirement or something that one must give some sort of statement upon exit, and this is it. Car fans, car parts, goodbye.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
We hit the air September 1995, about a week after the bosses told me auto racing was my new favorite sport. 2 years later, I leave RPM with some new favorite people. If I ever did this well at all,
I hate you! You are the worst driver in the world!
Then it's largely due to the work of those who put the show together. And at the risk of leaving out some good people, which will be the case since the goodbye should never run longer than a World of Outlaws segment, I'll remember fondly the time spent with racers when the racing mattered little, when Mr. Big turned out to be pretty normal. And I leave with great respect for what these people do, and sadness for the families of those who never will again. And while it sounds cliche to say the RPM group's a family, I know there's truth to it, because the way I was treated when my boy Connor made his run. He was born in Maine. He was going to be a Ricky Craven fan. His brother's name's Creighton. Reese Davis is the name of the next RPM weekend host. John Kernan does the weekdays. RPM's on every day. We'll see you.